It's Betsy from Cuttin Corners Vinyl, and today I have a fun video. It's all about puff. Now, if you're not familiar with Specialty Materials Fashion Flex Puff, I'm going to give you the lowdown on it. We're going to talk about how to apply it, all the colors, all the new colors, and show you how to install it. But before we jump into everything, I did want to say a big thank you to Specialty Materials for partnering with me on today's video. So, what is puff? Puff puffs up when pressed. There's no need for repressing to get the puff effect. So, I don't know if y'all remember back in the day, there used to be like puffy paints for clothing where you'd put it on the shirt and it would look normal, and as it dried it would get puffier. This is kind of the same effect, but you don't have to wait for it to dry. It's easy to weed with simple application instructions. They offer the most puff colors in the industry. We're gonna go over all of them, there's a bunch. It has a pressure sensitive carrier sheet that enables easy weeding and repositioning. So this is the carrier sheet for it. This doesn't have anything on it. So you can see it's sticky, but it's not super sticky, so it makes it easy to move. And it also makes it easy to release the vinyl from it, which is one of the things that I love. So you can put this on. The acceptable fabrics are cotton, uncoated polyester, fabric blends, polyester/acrylic, and similar fabrics. Now, you cannot use this on nylon. And for dazzle cloth and other moisture wicking polyesters, you do want to test it. Moisture wicking materials have better adhesion when washed and dried using no fabric softeners or with blotted with rubbing alcohol before pressing. So if you're doing like a dry fit shirt, you take some alcohol, you put it on there and let it dry and then put the material on it. It helps with the adhesion, because sometimes when you're dealing with moisture wicking materials, it wants to wash off. Fabric softener is another one of those things that tends to help make it come off, so this is definitely important to know. Be advised that dye migration has occurred with low energy dyes in polyester and polyblend fabrics with heat transfer vinyl that does not contain dye blocking agents. So what that means is, so you go to put it on a red polyester shirt and you put white on there. What dye migration is it will take that ink, the dye from the fabric, and put it into your vinyl, so it may make that vinyl look pink instead of white. So again, you need to test. So the sizing available is it's all available in 19.5-inch rolls, and it is available in the lengths 15, 30, 45, 60, and 81-foot rolls. Now, the thickness of this material is 4.9 to 6.7 millimeters thick, or 125 to 170 microns. So it's thin when you cut it. Once you heat it, it gets thicker. It's pretty neat. So, special precautions. This cannot be layered. Remove the carrier immediately after pressing. If the carrier or transfer sheet is left on, it can create inconsistencies in the puffed material. Please note, these instructions have changed, and it also depends on the color. Be sure to use the settings provided on your roll. Test before doing large runs. So when you go to cut this, you're going to cut it with a 45-degree blade or your standard blade for Cricut. You're going to want to mirror the image, and I have found that I can cut this on just my regular heat transfer settings, but again, test it with your machine, because if your blade's dull or things like that, you might need to mess with it. You're going to want to apply this with medium, even pressure, so you don't want your heat press to be hard to close. And to apply it, it runs anywhere from 8 to 15 seconds. Start at 8 seconds if more time is needed because you didn't reach the desired puff effect. It press for an additional 4 seconds, and then you kind of keep going until it's puffed. Now, you're going to want to peel that carrier sheet when it's hot and remove the transfer sheet immediately. So you want to get that off as quickly as possible. Now, to wash this, you're going to wash inside out on cold with gentle cycle and tumble dry on low. So you're not going to want to apply any heat when you're washing and drying this, just to be forewarned. So we're going to go over all the colors first, and we're going to do them in sections because they have different times. So we've got everything set out here. So we're going to start off with some of the older colors. And I have everything here except for the burgundy. I didn't realize I was out, but I wanted to show you what it looks like on the sheet itself before it's heated and then what it looks like after. So first up, we have the red. So if you look at the red, it looks like you can tell that the red, when it's heated, is brighter than it is when it's on the sheet. So this is on felt, so this isn't the best material for heating this, but I just wanted to show you. And then we have the royal blue. Again, you can definitely see on the royal blue that this looks much darker than it does once it's heated. Okay, so then we have our black and yellow. So this is the yellow. So as you can see, this has more of an orangey appearance. I don't know, when we used to sell it online, I would have several people contact me about the yellow and thinking that they got orange. And then the black. So the black isn't hard to tell, but the problem is there's a lot of colors when it's cold that look like the black. Then we have the actual orange, which looks like this. And then we have the camel. So as you can see, the colors all look a tad bit lighter and brighter once they're heated. And one of the things I wanted to point out, so this is the easiest way to kind of show you how the material looks puffed. So since that's on a sheet, let me pull it tight so you can see. You can see that the material, yeah, you can see how that puffs up, which gives it a unique appearance. So there's that. Then we've got the purple and the, or no, sorry, this is the navy blue and the khaki. So this is what the navy blue looks like before it's heated. So you can see that, or that's the khaki before it's heated, sorry. It's even hard for me to tell. But once it's heated, it looks different. And then that's the navy blue. So you can see why I say it's a little difficult to tell. Now, to me, the khaki probably should have been like army green because it looks more green, but it is still absolutely beautiful. And then we have the purple and the green. So again, that's the green before it's heated and that's after. And then we have the purple, which, does that look like purple? This does not look like purple, but it is. And that's what it looks like applied. So you can kind of see the purple a little bit more from the back side, but just to kind of forewarn you. Then we have the dark gray and the regular gray. So we've got the dark gray, which looks black again. That's why you need to make sure you label your pieces, and then the regular gray. But that looks awesome. Now we're gonna go over some of the new colors. Now all of these shades that I've just went over are applied at 305 degrees. So this is all of the new colors, or not all of them, but these are the ones that get applied at 305. So we've got the metallic gold. Isn't that pretty? I love that they added metallics. Then we have the light blue. We have the coffee. See? Then we have, like, this would be so fun to make a Christmas shirt with, or like using like that for skin tone. And then we have the vivid orange. So you can tell, and I wanted to kind of, let me grab the one that has orange on it. So the vivid orange versus, let me show you. So you can see the difference in the vivid orange and the regular orange. There's quite a bit of shade difference. Kind of like the khaki and the camel and the coffee. And to me, this is more like coffee milk. This is how I like my coffee, the color of it. And then we've got the emerald green. And last but certainly not least is the dark pink. Let me move that so you can see. That is the dark pink. Absolutely beautiful. So those colors all get applied at 305 degrees. Same thing for the burgundy, which is the one color I did not have. So next up, we're going to talk about all of the colors that get applied at 290 degrees. So we're going to talk about all these colors. So first up, we have the neon orange. That's what it looks like before it's heated, and that's what it looks like after. I love the neons. They're some of my favorites. Then we have the regular pink. There we go. So that's more of like a cool tone pink. And then we have lilac. Those are pretty true. Like all three of these, actually most of these colors are pretty true to what they look like heated as they do whenever they're on the carrier sheet. Now it's more on the darker colors where it starts to get a little confusing. Then we have the neon yellow and the neon blue. Now again, the neon blue, like I love that. Isn't that beautiful? So there's those. There's a lot. Then we have the neon pink and the neon green. So that's what the neon green looks like before heated, and that's what the neon pink looks like before heated. So as you can see, it does make a difference. It does look brighter. Now all the neons and the pink and the lilac get applied at 275 degrees, okay? Next up, we have two more colors, which are the white and the silver. Isn't that beautiful? I love the metallics. The silver one, it really has some shine to it. So that's what the silver looks like on the carrier sheet, and that's what the white looks like. So these are super duper pretty. Now, the file that I'm using today is available on my Patreon page for my $4 or more a month patrons. So if you'll give me a moment to change the camera angle, we will go into how to apply this. Okie dokie. So as you can see, I have my neon pink laid out and measured out. Now I do have plenty of videos showing you how to do this. So I'm going to start off because the heat press is heated to 290 degrees for 10 seconds. So we're going to start applying our colors. Now, puff is a different beast altogether than some of the other vinyls. So I would spot test to make sure everything is working the way that you want to, because it can be a little bit challenging. Not that it's hard, it's just challenging. So now I'm going to start laying out the rest of my letters. Okay. And as you can see, I'm going to try to lay out as many as I can in one fell swoop. So whenever you're dealing with puff, you want to, it's easier the more you can put on at once. So that way it actually has a chance to puff up. So let's see. Make sure that nothing actually overlaps with that tape. And this is a cute design, so it makes it really easy because you don't have to worry a whole lot. So I can't put the orange on here. Well, actually I probably could if I trimmed around that green a little bit. But all the neons heat at 290 degrees. And everything else other than white and silver heat at 305. So as you can see, and that's part of this that makes it fun, is you kind of get a little bit of playroom with this to find out what works best. And see how you kind of make it look a little cute and funky. So then we've got the bright there. Okie dokie. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with just those few right now. And we're going to heat these. And the silver is going to go on last. Now, I decided to go with the neon colors versus some of the other ones because I did want it to be super bright. But again, that's part of what makes puff fun. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and remove it. And when you're working with puff, you want to remove the carrier sheet as quickly as possible because that does help make sure that it puffs up correctly. Okay. I am going to go ahead and make sure my tree lines out the way that I want it to. Okay, I'm not putting the tree on yet, but I'm going to put the rest of the colors on. Doesn't this look so cute so far? I love it. So let's go ahead and reheat one more time. Okie dokie. And you shouldn't need to reheat it to make it puff up. That's one thing about the puff. So as you can see, it's got this really great texture. Now, before I add the Christmas tree, I am gonna go and change my temperature on my heat press down to 275 because it takes a little bit for it to cool. And when you're doing the silver or the white, you do need it to be at 275. So that gives it a chance to cool while we're putting on the other vinyl. So now I'm gonna line up my little green Christmas tree. Isn't that cute? And I decided to go with the silver metallic versus the gold because I thought that because it's going on gray, I thought it would look better. So again, we're gonna heat this for the 10 seconds and then we're gonna put on some stars. Now I didn't show weeding it in the cutting process. I have a lot of videos showing that because the puff hasn't really changed. You know what I'm saying? It's still the same material as always. It's just they've added new colors. And puff is actually one of my favorite materials to work with. Like, I really love dealing with puff. I think it's so much fun. And it gives you like this different texture and look to your shirts. Okay, so now I'm going to line up my silver stars. I have a couple just to place around. There we go. Doesn't that look cute? I love how this looks. Okay, so the heat press is now cool enough because that's the one thing about it is when you're doing these, the heat press, it doesn't take long to cool between, you know, 290 and 275, but it does take quite a bit to cool between 330 and like 300. So let's go ahead and heat this on for the 10 seconds. Sorry, my nose is running. It's that time of year. Like, I always get sinus issues during the fall. Okay, hold on. There we go. Now, for the silvers, for the metallics, I have noticed, now on specialties instructions, it says you don't need to reheat, but I have noticed with these metallics that I like to reheat them because they don't, like, to me, that's what helps make them puff up. They don't puff as much as I like them to whenever they're at the, like, the first time around. So again, with this kind of material, I would check it on your shirt and play before you go start a large run. So this is what it looks like. I am in love. What do you think? I love how this came out. Hopefully y'all like it too. If you do, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And if you hit the notification bell icon next to it, that will notify you when I post new videos, which is typically every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with some bonus content thrown in without. So I guess that's it. We'll see y'all later.